Like I never would just eat an apple. The only time I had apples was an apple pie. Okay, like it was really like that. So it's hard to start eating healthy if you come from a background like mine where that just wasn't a thing. And in order to be consistent, you, I don't want to say you have to enjoy it, but you do have to enjoy it. I know that makes no sense, but it's easier to stay consistent and more convenient to stay consistent when you are eating things that you like to eat. So that's going to. Good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. So this video is going to be the filler video. I told you it was coming and it's finally here. So we're going to talk about all of the things and tips that I have for you if you're trying to lose weight. I got tired of feeling rushed because I was literally recording, rushing back home to edit, upload, and make sure you guys had a video by 3:30 p.m. And I just got tired of feeling rushed. So this is the filler video. I'm still going to be hitting legs today, but you guys will be seeing legs tomorrow. Okay, so how did I manage to lose 115 pounds? Like, the shit is crazy. I know. And I wrote down a list of things to help us stay on track. So I have 8 tips for you guys that helped me because I have been on a weight loss journey. Like, this wasn't my first go around. I told you guys this before. I have been trying to lose weight for like 8 years. Okay, but this time around I did something completely different that allowed me to not only lose 115 pounds with no weight loss surgeries, but also keep it off. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Number one, you have to determine your why. So number one, determining your why. Okay, and I hate to like sound cliche, but it has to be more than, oh, I just want to look good in a bathing suit, or oh, I just want to lose some weight for my honeymoon or vacation or whatever it may be. Excuse me, like pollen. Um, you have to have something deeper than that. So my why was because I was tired of being out of breath all the time. Let's try this again. I got some water because the cough was getting crazy. Okay. I got tired of being out of breath all the time. I got tired of I was only 30 when I decided to like lose weight for good this time. I was relatively young and I felt like I am too young to be winded all the time, joints be hurting. Like I was already told I had high blood pressure, I was pre-diabetic, I had high cholesterol. I just felt like I was too young for any of those issues. You know what I mean? Because it's like if I'm dealing with this stuff at 30, I'm 33 now, then what is 40 gonna bring? Am I still gonna be here? Like, I say all that to say, like, we only get one body. And I know sometimes it's hard for us to realize that because we just get so caught up in our day to day and our routines. And if we have bad routines, you're setting yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? So you really have to figure out why. Like, maybe your why is because you want to be around for your kids. I don't have any kids, but maybe you want to be around for your kids. uh, Maybe you do have some type of chronic illness and you want to stop taking the pills for it. Like a lot of stuff is reversible, like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol. Like a lot of that stuff is reversible. So if you just figure out why you want to lose weight, you're going to hold on to that. So anytime it gets hard, you can remember, this is why I decided to do this journey. This is why I'm here, because of this. You know what I mean? So, having a why as to, I want to drop 20 pounds for vacation. Okay, that's great. So what are you going to do once you lose the 20 pounds for vacation? You just going to gain it back? Like, that's not something that's going to keep you going. You know what I mean? So that's why your why has to be deeper than that. So even once you reach your weight loss goals or your fitness goals, you're still going to hold on to that why and you're going to keep doing it. The second thing, so number 2, set small goals and reach them no matter what. Okay, sometimes our goals are just too big, and not too big in a bad way, like you're not going to reach it. Just they're just so big that you get lost in how big it is. Okay, so for instance, for me, the goal was to lose 100 plus pounds, right? Okay, well, that's a lot of weight. That's a whole person. So sometimes if I didn't set smaller goals, I would think to myself, there's no way I'm going to lose 100 plus pounds. I've only lost 2 pounds. Like, I have a long way to go. And then you may feel defeated. You know what I mean? Because the goal is just so big. So set smaller goals. So for me, smaller goals would be things like I'm not going to eat any ice cream for the week, or I'm going to make sure I work out 3 times this week, or I'm going to go on a afternoon walk with my dog to get more steps in 3 times this week. Like things like that. Things that are very, very obtainable. Because a lot of times too, when you're overweight like that, like how I was overweight, we kind of lose hope. To just be honest with you. I know I did. Sometimes I felt like I was trapped in my body. Like I didn't even think I was going to lose as much weight as I lost. I had got so used to being so overweight that I just thought that that was how my life was just going to be. And it wasn't necessarily depressing all of the time, but I did start to feel like I was going to always be a big girl. I just started to feel that way because that's how I was for 8 plus years, right? So, you know, having small goals that you reach is going to help you build your confidence and help you realize that you are capable of anything that you try to do. A lot of the times why we don't reach our goals, specifically weight loss, is because we don't believe in ourselves, because we lack self-confidence. So by having small goals, you guys, it's going to allow you to be more confident in yourself, because you're going to see like, okay, well, I said I wasn't going to drink any soda for the next 3 days. I did that. So, okay, I can do something, right? That's how you're going to start to feel. So, by doing that, it's going to help you realize like you can do it. You really can do it. Like, you really can do it. So, set small goals and do not break them. If the goal is to hit the gym 2 days this week, then fucking do it. It doesn't matter what 2 days, but you set the goal of 2 days this week, I'm going to the gym. So you're expected to do just that. That's what you're expected to do. Don't waver because it got hard. No, do it. If your goal was to not drink soda, then you're not drinking soda. Don't change the goal because shit got hard and now you're craving the soda. No, that's what I'm talking about. Stick to the smaller goals by all means necessary. Okay, that's gonna build your confidence. Number 3, this is a good one. This is a good one. Find healthy foods that you actually like to eat and look forward to. Yes, it's like that. Okay, weight loss is 90% what you eat. You guys see me in the gym. I love the gym. I love weightlifting. It's a whole vibe for me. It's my therapy. I don't miss a day. Okay. All that's cool. That's great and all. But at the end of the day, nutrition is key. That's the only way you're gonna lose weight. That's why you can still lose weight and not work out. But you can't work out and not eat right and still lose weight. Okay? You have to eat right. And it's gonna be hard. Especially like if you came from a family like mine where healthy food was never prioritized. Like I grew up on hamburger helper and junk food snacks and Lunchables and things like that. Like I don't even really remember having fresh fruit in the house. So I didn't come from that lifestyle. So I had to basically learn how to enjoy healthy foods. And honestly, a lot of stuff I had never really knew I liked because I never ate it. Like the only time I ate sweet potatoes was for Thanksgiving when they were filled with sugar and maple syrup and butter, you know what I mean? The only time I had any type of vegetable would be like a little bit of veggies on my plate, like a little bit to say that I had some, but it was filled with starch and meat, right? Like I said, I never had fresh fruit, like just hanging out. Like I never would just eat an apple. The only time I had apples was an apple pie. Okay, like it was really like that. So it's hard to start eating healthy if you come from a background like mine where that just wasn't a thing. And in order to be consistent, you I don't want to say you have to enjoy it, but you do have to enjoy it. I know that makes no sense, but it's easier to stay consistent and more convenient to stay consistent when you are eating things that you like to eat. So that's going to mean expanding your palate. Okay, I'm vegan. I've been vegan for almost 2 years, so I don't eat any animal product, no meat, dairy, or seafood. And there were a lot of things I didn't even know existed, like lentils. I had never heard of a lentil until I became vegan. Never even seen the word lentil, okay? But I expanded my palate and I tried them and I actually really, really like them. They're one of my favorite plant-based foods. I love lentils and they're so simple. They don't need a whole bunch of stuff. Like you can just boil them in some vegetable broth, throw a little seasoning in there, and I'll eat them just like that. Like they're so good. But that's what I mean by expanding your palate. You have to find foods that you enjoy. I never used to eat guacamole. Like never. I love guac. I love avocados. So you have to explore new foods, healthy foods to find out what it is that you actually like to eat so that you can look forward to eating them and not feel like you're in prison for eating it. Because eventually if you continue to feel like you're not enjoying your meals, you're going to eventually go back to your old ways of eating Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, whatever else, right? So, in order to stay on track, you have to find meals that you like. I don't really care for salads. Like your standard salad with like lettuce and a shit ton of vegetables. I don't really like those. I eat them from time to time. Like I was craving a salad the other day. I might make one next week. But I don't eat salads. Like don't think that because you're on a cutback, a lifestyle change that means you have to eat salads. If you love salads, knock yourself out. But for me, like that's just not really a thing of mine. So I'm not going to force myself to eat a salad every day because it's healthy. You know what I mean? I'm going to make meals that I enjoy. And I'm one of those people that when I find something that I truly, truly, truly like, I can eat it every day. Like since I've been on my spring cut, you guys, I've literally been eating the same pre workout and post workout meal. My non dairy yogurt with granola, dark chocolate chips. I started adding some coconut flakes to it. It just really tops it off. And 1 cup of blueberries. That's pre workout. And post workout is overnight oats. So 1/4 cup oatmeal, 1 tablespoon chia seeds, 1 tablespoon maple syrup, is there some 1 tablespoon of dark chocolate chips and 1 cup of blueberries, and that's my overnight oats. I've been eating that. What are we on day 47 of the spring cut? So for 47 days, and it's literally in the fridge for me today, so that I can take it with me to the gym. Like I really enjoy that food. It's delicious. Like I look forward to it every single day. So that's my point. Like you have to find meals that you like that's going to make you excited to eat them so that you don't feel like you're in prison because it's not prison. I promise you, eating this way, living this way is not a prison. You can make it one, but it's not prison. Like, it's a great lifestyle, but you have to get over the hump, okay? All right, number 4, find exercises that you like to do, okay? I love lifting weights. Like I said, that's my thing. That may not be your thing, and that's okay. I want you to get resistance training in because it's good for your heart and it's going to help you build muscle mass so that you can burn more calories at rest, right? You can't lose weight and keep it off being a cardio junkie, okay? You have to get in some resistance training in there somewhere, okay? That's going to be the most efficient way for you to burn fat, right? But that doesn't mean you have to do it every day like how you see me do it every day, okay? So find activities that you like to do. Maybe for you that's going on hikes. Maybe that's swimming. Maybe that's doing Zumba. Maybe that's Pilates, like whatever it is. Maybe that's biking, maybe that's going for a jog. Whatever it is for you, I want you to try different things. Maybe you'll find out you like weightlifting just as much as me, right? You never know until you try. But I want you to try a whole bunch of things. But I also want you to remember that when you're coming from a very out of shape state, like how I was, everything is going to be hard and nothing is going to be enjoyable when you first start. Okay? It's not, most of the time, it's not going to be enjoyable because you're using muscles that you've never used before. If you were a couch potato like me, you're not used to moving, okay? So be prepared to try something and be sore as fuck for the next 6 days. That's just the name of the game. But once you get over that, your body's gonna start recovering so much more quickly, and you're gonna be like me, where you can work out hard the day before and literally feel like you did nothing today. Like, that's how quickly my body recovers, okay? But it takes a while to get there. So don't be like, oh, I'm gonna like Zumba, and then you do Zumba, and then you feel really really sore, and now you're like, oh, I don't like Zumba because you're sore. That's how it's gonna be with anything that you try to do. Even if you go on a walk, if you're not used to walking, and you go on a 2 or 3 mile walk, or however much you can walk when you first start, right? Even if you can only walk a half a mile, whatever it is, your body's gonna be sore. Probably when you're done, and into the next day, and probably the day after that, just because your body is just not used to moving. Okay, so don't let that deter you from new things. Okay, just know that I want you to find exercises that you like to do so that you're going to be more likely to do it. Okay, because again, like we talked about with the food, if you're doing activities that you don't look forward to doing, eventually you're going to stop doing it. And then it's like, okay, now what? Because you didn't like it. So I encourage you to try a whole bunch of different things. Try a lot of things. Just go to your local gym. Most gyms have like classes, a whole bunch of different classes. Just pick different ones. Like, maybe set a goal. This week I'm going to try 2 different classes and see which ones you like and which ones you don't like. Maybe you didn't like the instructor in one, but you like the instructor in another. A lot of times the instructors teach different types of classes. So, just try different things, okay? Number 5, change your environment if you're around overweight and obese people. Sometimes you can't change your environment, but if you have the ability to, you need to. Okay, food is a drug. It really is a drug. Sugar is addictive. Fast food is addictive. Junk food is addictive. It's a drug, you guys. I was addicted to food, okay? That's why I was so overweight. That's how I handled stress and anxiety and whatever. The same is true for people who are on drugs. So, your environment is everything. I've told you guys this before. You are the people that you associate yourself with the most, right? If you really want to do something, sometimes, or a lot of times, that requires you to remove yourself from people who aren't trying to do what you're trying to do. Now, if everyone is in agreement and trying to lose weight, then that's great, okay? But if you're around people who are also overweight and they have no desire to lose weight, or they're trying to discourage you from losing weight, you can't be around those people anymore. When I started my weight loss journey, I literally isolated myself. I literally isolated myself. I stopped hanging out. I stopped hanging with family. I literally isolated myself because I wanted to be focused on losing weight. And my whole family eats like shit. My whole family eats like shit. Okay? They drink soda, they eat out, they eat fast food, fried foods. It they all eat like shit. And it's nothing against them. It's just in that moment I wanted to focus on losing weight. It's hard to be around triggers when you're in recovery. And I'm chuckling, but it's true because I don't know if everyone's going to see it that way, but it really is that. Okay, I told you guys before, if you've watched some of my other videos, I used to have a drinking problem. And it just got to the point where I can now openly talk about it because for the longest time, I was in denial. I haven't had a drink in almost 3 years, but I had a drinking problem. Now, I was never driving and drinking, I never was getting sick, but I needed to drink every day to deal with my life, right? Okay, so I no longer keep alcohol in the house, not because I think I'm gonna withdraw or relapse, but for what? Like, why even tempt yourself? Like, why? You know what I mean? The same applies with food. So, if you're trying to change, if you know you're addicted to certain foods like ice cream or chips or whatever, stop putting it in the house. And if people don't like how you're choosing to change and live your life, then you need to remove yourself from them. If they're not going to be supportive, if they're trying to discourage you or tell you that you can't do it, stop talking to them. You don't have time for that. You have to focus on what it is that you're trying to do, which is lose weight. So sometimes that means removing yourself temporarily so you can get yourself right and then you can reappear once you've started to make progress. Like, I hang out with my family now, but in the moment during those few months where I was really just trying to focus, I didn't really hang out. I would still talk, over the phone, but as far as going to like family dinners and stuff, I wasn't doing any of that because I just didn't I just didn't want to be around the food that I was addicted to. It's as simple as that. All right. Number 6, heal your traumas. Like I talked about when it comes to food, or in my case when I was drinking a lot, it's because we're trying to escape something. Everyone has traumas. No one is perfect. And a lot of times when it comes to overeating, it's for a couple of things. It's because we suffer from anxiety, it's because we're stressed, it's because maybe we feel trapped, it's because we're bored, it's because we're depressed. There's so many reasons as to why you're overeating. Nobody is like, oh, when they're a child, no one's like, oh, I want to be obese when I grow up. No one says that because that's not a normal thought process. It's because you're you don't know how to deal with whatever has happened to you or whatever is happening to you right now. So you use food to cope with it. Okay? Instead of dealing with it, right? You have to figure that shit out. I went to a lot of counseling before I even started losing weight because I was very codependent. I I just had this need to want friends. And so I would choose to be friends with people who weren't the best friends to be friends with, right? And so, in order to, how do I put this? In order to deal with never having my voids filled, I would eat, right? When I say I was codependent, that meant like I needed to be around people. I couldn't function by myself. Like I needed people's opinions about me mattered. I cared what people thought. It was just it was just a lot. It was a lot going on. I just wasn't emotionally stable within. Okay. So I would eat to deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with stressful situations. Anything that happened would work me up. Like literally anything. Now I'm so chill, like it's like whatever. But back then, you guys, if I got written up at work or just anything, like I would just go crazy. I would go crazy. I would literally start to freak out over the smallest things, literally. So I had to deal with a lot of stuff internally in order to get to the point now where I don't let external things mess with me internally. So, if you want to be successful in your weight loss journey, you have to learn how to deal with your traumas. And I'm all about counseling. There's nothing wrong with going to counseling, there's nothing wrong with talking about things that you've gone through, things that you're experiencing. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of times you have to shop around for the right counselor. Yes, like shop around. Like you might start with one and feel like they can't really connect with you, so then you go to another one, and that's totally fine. Like I think I've had like 4 different counselors in the past, and the one that I talk to now, like I feel like she really can connect with me. She's African American like me, so I just feel like she can understand things. She runs a business, like her counseling is her business. I run a business, so I feel like she understands a lot of the things that I've gone through or experience today. So she's a good fit for me. But what may be a good fit for one person may not be a good fit for another. So just the point I'm making is shop around for a counselor. Don't be afraid of counseling. Don't be afraid to talk about your problems. It doesn't make you crazy, okay? Counseling is really, really good. We all need counseling, okay? So heal your traumas. Heal your traumas. Number 7, understand that your weight does not define who you are. This took me a long time to realize. I'm still Jasmine, whether I'm 340 pounds, which was my heaviest, or whether I'm 230. I'm still Jasmine, okay? When you go on your weight loss journey, it's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be a roller coaster. You're going to have some weeks where you lose weight and you're happy with the progress, and you're going to have some weeks where you're not happy. But that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't mean you're not trying hard. That doesn't mean that, you don't want it bad enough. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean that you're not dedicated. It doesn't mean that you're not consistent. You could be literally doing everything that you've been doing, and just some weeks the scale does not move. That's why I tell you guys, don't weigh yourself every day, because you will go crazy. You will go crazy. But understand that no matter what weight you are, you deserve to love yourself. Okay? And I know that can sound really hard to believe when we live in a society where a lot of people are fat phobic. Like, I do think that's a thing. I do think that, a lot of people can be really mean to people who are overweight and obese. But that's why I talk about not needing external validation from anyone, because you have to learn how to love yourself. And yes, I do believe that loving yourself means eating better and exercising. That's all a part of self love, but it still starts from within. So if you don't believe that you're worthy of a healthier and happier life, that's not going to that's not going to become your reality. You have to believe that internally. So that's why I talk about going to counseling and healing your traumas, so that you can feel like you're worthy of being in a healthier body, okay? Our bodies weren't made to be overweight, That's why, I don't know about you, but that's why I experience joint pain. Like, my knees were not made to carry 340 pounds every day. My back was not designed to carry that much weight. My heart is not designed to push blood through that much fat, right? It wasn't designed that way. If it was, I wouldn't have been struggling at 340 pounds, right? We can all agree with that. There are a lot of really bad side effects to being extremely overweight. And if your body could handle it, you wouldn't feel bad, okay? So we can all agree that being heavy most of the time makes us feel not good. And it may not be bad at first, right? Hold on, there's a bus. The kids for school. It may not feel bad when you're younger, but eventually that shit catches up to you, right? Eventually that shit catches up to you. By the time I got to be 30, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So you have to understand that. But you're still a beautiful and amazing person no matter what size you are. That's the point I'm making. I don't care how overweight you are. You are still an amazing person. You are still a beautiful person. And you still deserve to be treated with respect. And you still deserve to respect yourself. Okay? So just don't let that number on the scale define who you are. And I had to learn that specifically because I do weightlift, and I built a lot of muscle. So, I may see differences, fat wise, like, I'm getting leaner, but the scale doesn't move. So I had to understand that the number on the scale is just a number. It's about how do you feel? How do you feel about your progress? How do you feel internally, and how do you feel physically? Right? If you feel good in all of those departments, you're doing a damn good job. You really are. Okay, so don't be obsessed with the number on the scale, and don't let that define you. And then number 8, which kind of ties back into what we were talking about, stay positive no matter what the scale says. Like I said, this is a roller coaster of emotions, especially because it took me 15 months to lose 115 pounds. So, life still happens. It's not like life was put on pause while Jasmine was on her weight loss journey. No, shit still happened. I still had to run my business. Things would still be stressful. People would still be stressful. Like, life still was lifing. It didn't stop because Jasmine was on a weight loss journey. Okay, so when I say it's a roller coaster, it's like I had to learn how to deal with stress in different ways other than what I used to know, which was eating what I wanted. And luckily for me, I found weightlifting. Like, that's my thing. It keeps me grounded. But I just want you to know that during your weight loss journey, things are going to get crazy. But by developing these new tools that you have that I've given you, you're going to be able to handle stress differently than what you were used to handling it with, which was food. Okay, you're going to feel more confident in yourself, and you're going to start to also realize that a lot of things that you used to worry about no longer bother you. Like, I don't even have anxiety anymore. And I think that's because a lot of the foods that I eat everything I eat now is very, very clean. So, as you go on your journey, your weight loss journey, just know that some weeks, like I said, you're going to be really happy with what the scale says. Some weeks you may not. Also go by how your clothes feel. Okay, do they feel tighter? Do they feel looser? Are you getting small? Are you getting smaller sizes now? Also go off of how quickly or how long does it take you to feel winded. For me, going up one flight of steps, I was I was winded afterwards. Like, I was like done. Okay, now like I can go up 2, 3 flights of stairs. My breath might be a little high, but I can still carry on a conversation. I'm not like I'm not like gasping for breath anymore, or anything like that. So go off of those things too. Don't solely use the scale. Yes, the scale, the number has to go down, right? It has to go down. If you're 300 pounds, you cannot stay 300 pounds. The scale does have to go down. However, if the scale isn't going down and maybe on week 10 of your weight loss journey, it doesn't go down, don't feel bad. Don't get depressed. Don't beat yourself up. Don't go into a pity party. Just keep going. I learned a lot of patience on my weight loss journey, a lot of fucking patience. So just keep all of these tools in mind, you guys, that I've given you. And let me know down in the comments which tools really like helps you the most if you're on a weight loss journey, if you've tried to lose weight before. Um, yeah, y'all. Am I happy? Yes. I'm so happy that I did this. I'm so happy that I finally decided to put myself first. So, I don't regret anything. I think everything happens for a reason. And I think the time in which it happens is also for a reason. So, you found this video because the time is now for you. Maybe the time wasn't now for you a year ago, right? But everything happens for a reason. This video popped up on your timeline because the universe is telling you that your time is now, and you don't have to have weight loss surgery in order to lose weight. It's hard work. I'm not saying having weight loss surgery isn't hard work, because it is. No matter what route you take, you still have to put in work. You still have to be consistent. You still have to be disciplined. But, everyone's journey is their own journey. And just know that you deserve to live a happier and healthier lifestyle. You deserve it. It's great. It's amazing, okay? Trust me, I know, I've been there. If I can do it, you can do it too, okay? I hope you guys have an amazing Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow for legs. Bye, you guys.